Welcome back. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome back. Y'all, we are excited for this next session with Nvidia. It's building your personal brands. So we're gonna get into doing that. You want to pay close attention to this next session because they will be raffling away their own prizes. So, with that being said, today we have Cherish Burks. Cherish is a campus recruiter on the University Recruiting Program Specialist. Um, Her role focuses on attracting great talent, as well as creating a unique experience for our first and second year university interns. Cherish previously was a student athlete co-chair for Oregon at the University of Oregon until she graduated in 2019. In 2021, Cherish received her master's in communications from the University of Alabama. Welcome, Cherish. And we also have Sabrina Kumoin. Sabrina is a software engineer working at the Department of Marketing Operations. She is tasked with developing front-end applications and web experiences for Nvidia.com in a variety of web technologies and frameworks. In 2021, she graduated from Marymount University with a bachelor's degree in computer science as the most outstanding student in her department. Okay. So with that being said, let's give all the love, all the emojis to our Nvidia team. Take it away.
Yes, thanks so much for that amazing introduction. We are so happy to be back with you all. We love Color Stack so very much. Just before we get started, as she mentioned, we are raffling off 3 prizes during this session. So in order to be considered, that link that is pinned to the top of the chat that you see from Ava, you are going to want to check in. That is how we will stay connected to y'all following Fam Friday to learn more about some university recruiting roles as well as what we're doing at Nvidia. So with that, I'm not going to hold Sabrina up because she has amazing content for you all regarding building your personal brand. So without further ado, send those clapping emojis for Sabrina.
Yay! Thank you so much, Michelle Adana. Thank you, Cherish, for the introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Sabrina Kumwa, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm so pumped right now. Pardon me if you see me looking down a little bit. So I do have my camera up and my computer with my slides are down. So you'll see me like switch a little bit, but I'm paying attention. I'm totally here. Super excited to be here. And yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of context of what we're going to talk about today. Today, I want to give you guys the game on personal branding for professional opportunities. This is not a super technical talk, although we will be talking about NVIDIA and my role at NVIDIA. But I want to give you guys game, okay? Because I understand y'all are more like college students. You're trying to get your career in order, your internships, all that stuff. So I got you. And now I will start sharing my screen. And I want you guys to let me know if you guys can see my screen. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to share the entire screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen right now? Can you guys see it? Let's see. Okay, yes, I'm seeing all the yes. Let me put this on the side and just like that, okay? All right, you guys, let's talk about creating a personal brand for professional success. Okay, let's get into it. So a little bit about me. So Michelle Adana gave me a great intro already, so thank you so much for that. I'm an engineer at NVIDIA. I'm a software engineer. I'm a front-end engineer, aka a web developer. So our product is actually Nvidia.com. That's my baby. That's what I work on, Nvidia.com. So stuff on the website. My team in marketing is the one to work on that. So it's really interesting because I'm in a technical role, but on a non-technical team, if that makes sense. So it's really interesting because I get to learn about marketing and technology. A little bit more about me. So I have a brand called Brina's Code on Instagram where I share coding tips and advice. please follow me. Shameless plug here. Follow me on Brina's Code. That's where I share like my coding tips, and that's why I want to talk to you guys about personal branding. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, I have a question for you guys, and I want you guys to let me know in the chat. Is it possible to ever accidentally build a house? Like, is that possible? Can you just stumble upon a perfectly completed house and be like, oh, this was an accident? Let me know in the comments. Can you accidentally get married to anybody? No. Can you accidentally become best friends with someone? Sometimes that might happen, actually. Can you accidentally become CEO? And can you accidentally get accepted into college if you did not apply? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of answers in the comments. Some people said yes, it might happen. This is funny. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. So the answer is no. You can't accidentally build things that last, because things that last are meant to be built with intention. I have another question for you guys. Can you tell me the difference between a house and a home? What's the difference between a house and a home? Let me know in the chat. I'd like to know. Okay, so home is personal, a house is a structure. Home is where the heart is, and homes are designed well. Okay, a house is a physical structure. House doesn't have a theme or identity. Okay. Okay, next slide. Okay, the difference is that the home is a thing, it's a product. I'm sorry, the house is a thing, it's a product, but the home is an experience. Okay, perfect. Joseph Molina said home is a lived experience. Nathan Mendoza said home is where family is, house is a building. Perfect description. There's a difference between family and the building. And the reason I'm building this to your attention, you guys, is because it's very possible for you to have a job without having a career. And in the age of AI, you want to make sure that you have a career. And I know you guys just came up from the amazing technical talk earlier, and it's important to have the skills when it comes to technology, but you also really need to know how to market yourself, because guess what? ChatGPT is in the house, Black Box AI is in the house. All these tools are out there that make people very, very competitive. And so what I'm trying to teach you, honestly, is to have a way of communicating your value and your skill set to employers so that they feel like hiring you. And that's what we're going to get into. Okay, let's continue. A job will give you income, stability, but it can be very hidden. A career, on the other hand, is everything a job has to offer, plus a reputation, visibility, a brand, and opportunities for more choices and freedom. So I believe that I have a job at Nvidia, but I also have a career and a brand. That's why Cherish will reach out to me for opportunities like this and ask me like, hey, Sabrina, are you interested in speaking on behalf of Nvidia for Color Stack? Like, I wouldn't be able to do that if I was only good at my job, which is software engineering. You have to be able to also communicate your value in so many other ways. Okay. And okay, a career is built with intentionality. So back to the topic of today's talk. What is personal branding? Personal branding allows you to define and build your career on your terms, and it requires that you think long-term about what opportunities you want from your life, what do you want to be known for, and what do you want to be celebrated for. So what is it? Can you tell me if you have seen these three things before? Okay, so McDonald's, Apple, Taylor Swift. Or if you want, you could say Beyonce. You can replace her in your mind by Beyonce, but I just picked Taylor Swift because I don't know, I just felt like it. Okay, Sania said she's eating McDonald's right now. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, she said she has no shame. I love it, girl. That's good. Eat your food and enjoy this talk. Okay, so what is a personal brand? You see McDonald's, you see Apple, and you see Taylor Swift. What do they have in common? Why do we seek out brands? Why do we go to reputable sources when we're trying to get something? They have the following in common. They have value or results. You know that if you go to McDonald's, no matter where you are on the planet, it's gonna taste the same. You know that if you go to the Apple store, you're gonna get the same experience. And you know that Taylor Swift is going to be Taylor Swift in all her concerts, or Beyonce's gonna be Beyonce in all her concerts. So they deliver value. There's something in it for you. You don't go to McDonald's when you're not hungry, or else why are you there? Why are you there? You don't go to Apple if you're not trying to get quality experiences. Why are you there? And so they give you value. They also give you quality, meaning it's a good experience. And they also give you consistency, meaning you can expect the same experience from them regardless of where you're at and why you go. Now, why do companies also hire people? A company will hire you for the same reasons that you seek out all the brands that you love. A company will hire you if you give them value, if there's something in it for them, if you give them good quality in your work ethic and in your skills. And they will also value you if you give them consistency, which is a huge part. It means that they need to be feeling like they need to expect the same experience from you at all times. Okay. In sum, your personal brand is your ability to package yourself to communicate to future opportunities that you have value, that you offer a satisfying experience, and that you are consistent. Consistent. As a student, how can you build a brand that will empower your career? I'm so glad you asked this question. We're going to go back to why companies hire people. And this is where I'm going to get a little bit more specific. So I want you guys to take notes, okay? Most people build a brand around a skill set. I'm assuming that a lot of you know about Nvidia. A lot of you are probably in the tech industry or in the tech field or similar industries. And I want you to take building your personal brand seriously. If you have LinkedIn, if you have Twitter or X, if you are on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, I want you to start building your personal brand on these platforms immediately, as soon as possible. And the reason is that you're applying for software engineering roles where people are very smart, very talented, coming from amazing schools. And sometimes that alone can determine who gets the interview and who does not. When you have a personal brand, meaning you are known for writing on blogs, you're known for creating tech content, you're known for speaking about all these different topics, what that can do is that it can make you very interviewable quicker. I was able to get an interview. So the way I even got to NVIDIA was I interned at Nvidia before I was hired full time. And before I interned, I built my page, my Instagram page, where I had all this stuff where I was talking about tech and all this stuff. And when I applied for my internship, I mentioned that, okay? I put that in there. And I'm pretty sure that had something to do with why I got the interview in the first place. You want to make sure that you give them a reason to be like, okay, this person does things that are out of the ordinary, outside of the box. Okay, let me see. So Cynthia says, what if you're naturally introverted? How do you go about building a personal brand? Someone said, Soliana said, did you put it in your resume? Yes, I did. I believe I put that in my resume. It's your brand. And the thing about having a brand is that you can carry it anywhere you go. And okay, Cynthia, I'm seeing that your comment got a lot of likes. So let me answer this. What do you do if you're naturally introverted? How do you go about building a personal brand? I will get to that. Let's continue. I will get to that. So the first thing is identifying your core skill and what you want to build your brand about. Do you want to build your brand around software engineering? Do you want to build your brand around marketing? What is it that you want to build your brand about? So find the skill first. But then you need to also know, why do you care, and why would people believe that you care about this thing? In my experience, I care about software engineering because it was able to drastically change my life. I grew up in Ivory Coast in West Africa. So I am a US citizen. I was born in America. I grew up in Ivory Coast in West Africa. And I was able to learn how to code and get a full internship, a full scholarship to come to America for my studies. And so my brand was built around, I want to get as many people on this information to also change their lives so that they can also get the income, get that money, get that stock, get that whatever. And so you need to find your skill, but then wrap it around, why do you care about it so much? Yes, you may be doing this because you want professional opportunities, but it should be genuine and you should actually care about the things that you're talking about. What value do you bring to the table? I'm going to use this to answer the question of what to do if you're introverted. Because a lot of times we talk about making videos, being on TikTok, being on YouTube, all that cool stuff. But if you're naturally introverted and speak and you don't really want to get into the whole speaking space, I highly recommend that you start writing blogs. People do read blogs. Don't think that they're not going to pay attention to it because it's written content. Written content today goes a very long way. And people use all types of ways to write their blogs. And if you're going to use ChatGPT to write your blogs, by the way, I'm going to give you this piece of advice. Make sure that you probably write it yourself first and then ask ChatGPT to edit it for you, because you don't want to end up sounding like ChatGPT. And even if ChatGPT does help you write, always go back to add some element of life and flair to it so that people can sense that you wrote it yourself. Just an aside, I wanted to share that with you. So what value do you bring to the table? Don't underestimate your skills. You don't have to be like a very public facing type of person to build a personal brand. Your ability to learn is valuable. Your observations are valuable. So if you're the type of person who can analyze things and be like, I feel like this company is doing really well for XY reasons. I feel like Nvidia is doing great because you can do XYZ with Nvidia technology. Those are the things, all the stuff that's going in your brain that you're thinking about, that you're talking to your tech friends about. Please write articles about them. Don't underestimate your curiosity and don't underestimate your stories, because I feel like a lot of times we don't value our personal brands because you think you need to have all this stuff going for you. But anything that you make an asset can become an asset. So just write. Honestly, just write. Also, opt for long form content, in my opinion. If you want to start publishing things on like Twitter and Instagram, it's always good to have a blog first. Even if you want to start posting on LinkedIn, start with your blog and then take elements from your blog and then post it on LinkedIn or post it on Twitter. And then you can redirect people to your blog so that your blog is like your identity on the internet. Currently, I'm working on my blog, so it's not published right now. I have one, but I'm revamping it. And I feel like having a blog is like a solid asset to have. Okay, let me see some of the things in the chat. Okay. So it's not about making content alone. What is the content of your content? And I'm going to go back to my previous slide. If we go back to the previous slide, it's about why you care and what you're learning, and can you make it interesting enough that people feel like you have something to say about it. If you're really good at identifying future trends, don't take that for granted. If you're really good about learning things quickly, teach people how to learn things quickly. And like, imagine an employer coming across your blog where you're teaching people how to learn things quickly. They'll be like, oh well, if I hire Soliana, let me see some of the names in the chat. If I hire Sadia, if I hire Olamide, then they're going to teach the other members on the team about new technologies. Don't forget that you're Gen Z. People want Gen Z because Gen Z is closer to the new technologies. So if you can find a way to market that and write about all the new Gen Z technologies, you're going to make yourself more attractive to employers. Okay, I'm going to go to the next slide now. Documenting over being an expert. When you are young and you're a student and you're in college, you might feel like you're not an expert, so you have nothing to teach. But you need to be able to teach and to show your growth and how you're learning, because sharing your story is what shows employers how you think. So when I was creating all my tech content and I was like simplifying coding concepts in JavaScript to show people how to learn this stuff, on the other end, if an employer sees that, they'll be like, okay, she knows how to break things down. This is her journey. This is what she's learning. This is someone who has an energy of like continuous improvement. We want her. I mean, why wouldn't you want someone who's constantly learning? So value documenting your progress over being an expert. You don't have to be an expert, because frankly, think about this. I graduated about 2 years ago. I'm at Nvidia. I'm using the same technologies of front-end development that I've been doing in college, that I've been doing since whatever, because I was able to demonstrate that it's a valuable skill. I don't know every coding language on the planet, but I know the stuff that I know well, and I know how to talk about it. That's really what you need. Don't get overwhelmed with AI. You don't need to know every single technology under the sun, but you should know how to use AI though, okay? Next slide. So this is a little similar to what I said. I think I have only a few minutes left, but do it publicly. Learn in public, share what you're learning, and share your predictions for the future. Do it where? Do it on blogs, social media, YouTube, and in-person networking. The thing about having a personal brand is that it empowers you to actually go and meet out people in conferences and in meetups, even if it's virtual, like what we're doing right now. You want to show up more when you feel like you have the leverage of a personal brand. And in conclusion, your brand is your story, and be intentional about it. And so I think this concludes my slides. It doesn't conclude everything. So I would love to answer some of your questions if you have any questions about me specifically and what I was able to do. Okay. Thank you so much. I think I can stop sharing my slides.
All righty. Thanks so much, Sabrina. Like she had mentioned, we are ready to answer any questions that may pop up. I'm glancing over the Q&A now. And I think one of to really highlight, I think, Sabrina, a lot of folks want to know, where did you get your painting from?
Oh my God, guys, you're not even going to believe this. You're going to love this, but it's not a painting. It's my Samsung Frame TV. So I can actually change the art that displays.
What?
The coolest thing ever.
All right. Well, now I got to get one.
I made this one on, oh no, this one, like it has art. So it's like a TV that literally displays art. And it's the coolest thing ever. And I got it on sale during Black Friday. So wait for the sales because it's kind of pricey, but they give you good like discounts during Black Friday. So
oh my goodness, how fun. I actually saw this in the chat. A lot of folks are curious of the correct pronunciation of how to say the company's name. All right, y'all. It's in, like the letter in, Nvidia. 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 Not na, in. So I hope that helps. Let's see. What else do you see?
Okay.
This one says, what role does continuous learning and skill development play in personal brand building?
Great question, Tamilola. Great question. Continuous learning is basically about showing people that you can be on the frontier of knowledge. You can be on the cutting edge of technology, and that them investing in you in turn, so it's like I'm thinking marketing here. Why would someone, before you buy something, you're going to buy something because it has something to give you. You're not going to go to McDonald's and they're not going to give you food. So when you can prove to people that you're someone who learns things effectively and quickly, actually, let me take the quickly back, no pressure. Effectively, when you can prove that to them, it strengthens your personal brand because it makes them feel like you're someone worth investing into. You're someone that can teach them something. You're someone that can show them a perspective that they've never had. And ultimately, you're someone that can make them money. Okay? Because if you can teach them something and show them all this stuff, that will translate into money. So if you can show people that you can learn quickly enough to make them money, that's a good thing to have in your brand. I hope that was a good answer, or that answers your question.
Yeah, and then before we get into the next question, I do want to point out there is 5 minutes until we raffle off our 3 prizes that we have for you. So please be sure to click on that link that is pinned to the top of the chat. Get that done within the 5 minutes so you have a shot at the raffle. All right, what's our next question?
Okay, how can students, professionals use personal branding to pivot into new roles or industries? Okay, personal branding. So when it comes to, so I'm going to speak for the tech industry, right? I feel like when it comes to the tech industry, you want to show technical expertise. And the easiest way, in my opinion, in this day and age, to show technical expertise before an interview is to have some kind of personal brand. Because if the interview is the only place where you're showcasing that, then you're limiting yourself to, some teams are a lot more flexible. If they see that you were able to develop XYZ program on your own, even if you fail or you're like, low key, you're not crushing the interview, they might reconsider because of what you have on your GitHub or because of what you have on your pages. And so if you're trying to pivot into a new role, I suggest building projects that demonstrate expertise in that role and talking about those projects, being very loud. That's where the personal brand is. The personal brand is you giving yourself a stage before the interview. So if you're trying to pivot, whatever role you're trying to pivot into, build a brand around that, write blogs about it, talk about your journey pivoting in that role, because people are invested in people that have stories. It's hard to compete in this industry if you don't have a story. Maybe in the past, learning how to code was enough, but today, sorry you guys, but there's AI that can also code. I'm being real. So give yourself that story. Hopefully that was helpful. What? Sorry, Cherish, go ahead.
I was just going to read it for you. What tools and tips do you have for documenting your thoughts, experience, and processes?
Well, tools and tips. Okay, great question. The way I go about it personally is I journal a lot. I have like paper journals. I have my iPad. I just have a lot of like books that I read, or like blogs that I read, and journaling, and I use journaling apps. I keep those, I keep, when I'm learning something, I journal about it instantly, so that in the next few days or months or weeks, I can go back on something that I learned and then build a piece of content around that, or like share something about it. And lately I've been learning a lot about personal branding, hence why it came so naturally to me to even do this talk. So I'm always learning and writing things down. In terms of, so you said, what tools and tips do you have for documenting your experience and processes? So writing is the safest way to go. Write for yourself as you're learning, and then write for others. And then once you're comfortable with writing, you can start looking into videos. But again, don't feel forced or compelled to do videos if that's not your thing. Focus on your actual strengths, because people do read blogs a lot. Ooh, that's a lovely one. Okay. Emmanuel said, what are challenges faced when trying to balance out work requirements and building one's personal brand as a software engineer? That's a very good question, because sometimes it just means that you need to learn how to prioritize your life and your career, because my job is Nvidia. My job is not like, this is my second job, if you will. Like, this is my second priority. So I had to learn to prioritize my job at Nvidia, because after this talk, I have some code to write. I have some tickets that need to be handled. So it comes into making sure that your managers and the people on your team know that you want to build your personal brand, communicating those things with them, letting them know what you're into, and if you're doing speaking engagements and stuff like that, they just want to be aware of your vibe, so to speak. And you also want to kill it at your actual job, so that there's never a feeling of, why are you doing this if you're not even done with your work? So in terms of prioritization, you need to just make sure that you handle your time and that you're very good at what you were hired for. Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much, Sabrina, for answering all those questions. I do want to talk a little bit more about some of the opportunities that we have at NVIDIA. I saw the curiosity in the Q&A, and I want to make sure I answer them. So following this event, beyond, the raffle winners, and that's how we, get all your information, I will follow up via email with information regarding how to apply to open roles, the different roles that we have available, and so on and so forth. So that's why I keep stressing the importance of that link. We are hiring interns and new college grads within our early talent programs. And then after this, I will be kind of at one of the tables networking there, just to see excuse me, I'm losing my train of thought, to answer any more of those recruiting related questions for you all. But I do want to draw your attention that in the resources tab, I did add a link to one of our NVIDIA's upcoming event sessions. We're hosting a Black History Month event, which we will spotlight 3 amazing NVIDIA engineers. So if you would like to register, it is in the resources tab on the side here with the link. So, alrighty, y'all. This happened so quick. I can't believe the time is already up. So in real time, I have been using the random real name generator thing to grab some raffle winners. I'm on the last spin here for our 3rd one. So drum roll or clap. I don't know if I can see it. All right. So the winners that I had cool, and I promise you, it is a random name generator. So for the, I guess I should tell you all what we're raffling off. We're raffling off 2 swag bags as well as an Nvidia shield. So our winners of the swag bags is for Lizette Hernandez and Diego Lopez. You two are our swag bag winners. Again, I will follow up via email with how you can get your prizes. But last but certainly not least, our NVIDIA shield goes to Cecilia Henson. So Cecilia, if you're here, congrats. You're going to have a really cool NVIDIA shield to stream all your stuff on. So excited and so happy to have been here. Sabrina, you're amazing as always. Thank you again for coming and speaking to the Color Stack members. Again, I will be hanging out in the back answering some of those recruiting related questions for a few moments, and have a great rest of your Friday.
Thank you.
Yes. Y'all give it up for the Nvidia team in the chat and the emojis. Let them see it. Let them see it, y'all. All right, real quick, let's do this giveaway question. Ready? What is one reason companies hire people? Color Stack team, let me know. Ooh. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Bum bum bum. Juan Figueroa. Absolutely, absolutely. Congratulations. The Color Stack team will be reaching out early next week to let you know about your prize. So thank you to Cherish and Sabrina. For real, thank you so much for chatting with us. Now we're going to go ahead and transition it to 15 minutes of roundtables in the lounge space. And up next at 3:45 we will have our Color Stack student panel. So I will see you all here at 3:45.